Hey gang, DJ Michael Joseph here, and welcome to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. Hope everybody's having a great time. I know I'm only doing this like once a month. I probably should be doing more. But with the virtual DJ stuff, there's not a lot happening in the world right now when it comes to our gear and whatnot, and my mixing is always just mixing. So for now, it's going to have to be once a month. So I hope you guys are having a good time. I would welcome everybody in the chat. If you are from somewhere else in the world, please do a shout out because we get a lot of international viewers on here, and I'd like to see where everybody's at tonight. If you have never seen the show before, welcome first, and second off, we'd like to take a few minutes at the top of the hour and let everybody kind of, jump in there, and I do shout outs and stuff like that, and then we get into the topics and the questions after that. We are on 10 different places tonight, multiple YouTubes, multiple Facebooks, and Twitch, I believe. I believe those are the only ones we're at. It's very hot here. I don't know where you're at, but right here, it's very hot. I don't care how much I have the AC running. The studio's really warm today, so if you hear a fan running, we're all going to have to deal with it because there's probably one running in your room too if you're hot. So I want to definitely say hello to everybody. Mikey Mike, what's going on? Todd is Steep, how in the world are you? Michael Timmick, how are you? Danny D, how are you? Aaron the DJ, hello. Matt Swagan, what's going on? Hope you're doing a good time. Matt's from Uniontown, just across the way. Not Uniontown, sorry, dude. The other direction, Youngstown, Ohio. Paul is tuned in from Zimbabwe. Aaron the DJ is from Calgary, Alberta. See, we're getting these international viewers. I love the fact that with this technology, we're able to connect like this. Definitely want to get some of everyone's feedback tonight about some of the stuff that we're doing. I kind of want to see what you guys want to what you want to see here in the future, as you do know that a lot of our DJNTV shows kind of take a break for summer because most DJs are crazy busy in the summertime, and we're just a couple months away from fall. And just to remind you, let's talk about what you kind of want to see. I'm going to talk a little bit about where my stuff is going to be going because you do know that I'm going through some changes with some of the branding and stuff that I'm doing, and I'm kind of still trying to figure all of that out. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Matt says, once a month is better than nothing. I'm thankful for your sharing your wisdom. Well, you're welcome. I'm here too. Michael Timmick, I already threw in a question there. I'm going to try to tag that. Hold on here so I can grab that here in a minute. We're going to do questions here in a bit. I want to make sure I grab that one so I don't lose it. Along with my sanity. What was the old saying? I think my sanity is having an affair with my peace because they both ran off together or something like that. Okay, making notes, Michael. What's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Again, keep in mind, top of the hour, we usually go through a couple of shout-outs, stuff like that, and then I get into the evening stuff. I am going to get to your questions, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be just virtual DJ. It can be on anything. And it doesn't matter where you're tuned in from. I can see your questions as they come in. But I am going to share about something tonight that I think everybody already knows. If you don't know about this, DJ Fish, what's going on? I want to make sure I say hello to everybody who wants a shout-out. Hope you're doing well. The thing I'm going to share tonight, I presume every person that's ever touched virtual DJ knows about this. But I'm still getting people, when I share this with them, they're going, oh my goodness, I've never seen something like that before. It's crazy. Hello, Robin. Hope I didn't say hello, Robin. How are you? So when I share this tonight, if you've seen it before, please forgive my redundancy, me repeating myself, me saying the same things over and over. John Jazz, how's it going, buddy? But I want to talk about it a little bit, and if you want to throw something in there, John Colley, what's going on? How are you? If you want to throw something in about this, you can. But let's just jump right into it here. You get here and change screens. All right, so what I'm going to do is in virtual. And as you know, I am running the different skins. So if this doesn't look like your skin, it's you know that I run something different on purpose. We can talk about that if you want. But we're going to go up here to the config menu. And in the config menu, you have all the different things like audio, the interface, MIDI mapping, options, licensing. And we're going to go to extension. Extension is all the plugins and stuff that we have, all the different things that you can add to Virtual DJ to be able to do all kinds of different things, like everything you can imagine. And these are the ones strictly from Virtual DJ. Keep in mind that other people make other stuff for Virtual DJ that's not on here that you can get, where I've got some of those different skins that I use, the Serato skin and the record box skin and all that. Before I show you that, this is where all your stuff comes from. But I want to show you that if you don't update stuff, this is all you have to do, and this is all the longer it's going to take you to update. This isn't what I'm going to show you, but since I have the skin that I have on there needs an update, I'm going to show you how quick if you've never done this before. And that is it. That has been updated. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into Other and Database Filters, and we're going to go all the way down here to the one that says My Library for my language. And we're going to install it. It's already installed, but this is why I want to show this, because so many people don't know about this, and I think it's an extremely powerful tool. Hello, Randy Bosley. Hope you're doing well. And I really think that it's something that, if you don't have, go ahead and get. It downloads in a second. But basically what it does when you download it, it creates more or less your entire catalog of music, wherever it's at in that folder. So you're going to have all your music under one folder or one, whatever they call it on Mac. Not Drive, but someone in the chat, feel free to shout out what it's called on Mac. But anyways, all your stuff's in there. It's going to look at all of it. It's going to read the tags of those things, and then it's going to put them into crates, smart crates already. So everything you own is going to be in these crates, and I'm going to show those now. We're going over here. Let's dump me out of here for a minute so that you can see this a little bit better. So here's the My Library thing, and the folder's there. And you can see, I will actually zoom in some more here. There we go. So it dumps them into genres and different things like that. So if you want to look at BPMs, it has stuff in there. So if you want to, it's already created in the 80 to 90 BPMs, et cetera, so on, stuff like that. It's also done in there via key, if you want to look at your keys, albums, artists, all kinds of stuff like that. But one of the cool things it does have is in the database, under here, you can look at different things with your audio and look at things that are brand new. All of them new. Missing, so if you have tracks that the database has not found, you can look at that. Stuff that's not scanned. Also down below in this same database folder is tools. And this gives you things like not scanned, there's no artist in the title, there's no BPM, there's no key, there's no genre. And this gives you a chance to go in and put genres in stuff and different things like that if you want them in there. I know why all of these don't have genres. Anything with those numbers left, right are from scratch routines. So this would be the first song in that scratch routine put on the right deck, and there's probably a 2L somewhere, but these are all of them just kind of mixed together, and that's why there's no genre on them, because they're all just from, I should probably just tag them all scratch routines or live routines or something like that. But basically, this already does it. So this is a very, very powerful tool to do all kinds of stuff and look at different things that you have in there and be able to edit and work through things if you want. Again, you can look at some stuff you have colored, grouped by colors or whatever. And I just kind of wanted to show this because, like I said, I thought everybody kind of knew about it already. But I was talking to a DJ friend of mine the other day, and he's never heard of it. So again, I want to kind of share that with everybody so that you know that. So that was basically all I wanted to share tonight. And again, our questions tonight can be anything whatsoever. It doesn't have to be about Virtual DJ. That's why I labeled the title of this one Virtual DJ and More Q&A. Because you guys come at me with a lot of great questions that don't have anything to do with this software. But one of the reasons I kind of tailor towards this software is because I think I'm one of the only people that do this sort of thing and answer questions for Virtual. I love the program. I've been using it for over 10 years. I think it's awesome, and I have a feeling it's going to get better in the future. People ask me also, when are they going to come out with a new version? Because technically, by this time in the fall, like let's say September-ish, November, they usually put out the next year. So we should right now be running Virtual DJ 2022 Summer Edition, and we're still running Virtual DJ 2021 Summer Edition. So they're due for something, and like I said, it's one of those things that right now in the industry, there's not a lot being done. So no new equipment, not a lot of other stuff. So I think everybody's kind of on hold until things get bumping. Plus, we're also if I'm correct, less than a month away from the International DJ Expo in Atlantic City. So we're probably going to see stuff bumped out around that time also. At this time right now, I am not going to the Expo. I don't know. I want to break from it. Like I said, for me, it's going there to see new equipment, and nobody's really announced anything that I feel the need to put my hands on. So I may, like I said, after missing last year, I may never ever go again, but never ever say ever, ever, ever. So there we go. So I'm going to check out some of the questions in the chat, see what you guys are up to. I will answer as much as I can tonight, and we'll have some fun. And no, I don't need to sing into the mic, but I can. I love this extension. It helps me number. Yeah, Matt Swaggin was talking about it. It helps him especially with country music. Is there a filter in there to delete all country music, Matt? I don't know if I've seen that or not, but yeah. I already had a question that was brought up to me by, who was it that brought it up? I just forgot it was. Michael Timmick asked, I plugged in my Newmark NS4FX, which I think their names are getting way too long, and noticed that there is no echo out with Virtual DJ. There's echo out with everything. You just kind of have to set it to a button. So when you look at the stock mapping of something, so we're going to go in, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this or not, so don't go crazy if I can't find it. But we're going to bring in here, and I'm going to look at mapping, and we're going to show all compatible things, and we're going to look for the Newmark. I can zoom in so you guys can see this here. Hold on. And we'll move this down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to back this out just a bit so that you guys can see a little bit better. A little bit better. There we go. So I'm going to search down in here for Newmark NSX4. So we're going to be looking for effects. So some of these effects here, there's their echo, and their echo triggers the echo effect in virtual. So you might need to be specific when you're talking about do you want an echo effect or an echo out effect, because those are actually two different things. If we go over here and we look at, I got to take this off because I have it on the absolute smallest variation 2 deck middle extra, and I don't even know where that's at on this because I don't use a lot of that stuff. Deck setup. You should be able to see the effects. Oh, because I don't have anything plugged in. That's why the effects aren't there. So if we are looking at, if I'm looking at a split screen here, hold on. Uno momente, señores and señoritas, por favor. Interface, we're going to default, and default is easier to find stuff. So if we're looking over here in the effects, and we're looking for, where are the effects at on this stupid thing? Here we go. And there's the echo, but there's also an echo out. So if you need the echo out, then you would set that in the NSFX3 under that for mapping, under FX echo, whatever button that is titled to, you would then change this to echo out as opposed to echo. So that's why. So there's a difference between echo and echo out, and I'll tell you what the difference is. Basically, echo out creates both the volume and the echo effect together. So it brings down the volume as it's doing the echo out, and the echo simply echoes. So if you set this at post fader for the effects, that means that if you pull the volume down after you've hit the FX button, the effects will continue, but the volume of the song will stop. So all you will hear is just the echo, but if you leave the volume up, you will hear the song and the echo going together. But the echo out is like an automatic volume drop, So you press one button, it drops the volume and does the echo. So that's the difference of those. So I hope that helped. Moving on, again, lots of questions in the chat. We have someone that is spamming us already. I believe that's probably some sort of bot. So down with the bots. I used to like robots, but I don't like bots. So one of our administrators, please just eliminate them out of the chat. Any other questions? And like I said, it can be about pretty much anything. I'm up for talking about anything tonight. I've got some blur going on tonight. Wow. I think we're I don't know. All right. I know I was able to use my knob by the trigger. Good. Now you know where your knobs are. So feel free. More questions. Need a mod? Are you asking me, Aaron, if I need a mod, or are you offering someone a mod? Me. If you guys are going to ask me a question in the chat, feel free to just put something there that you're asking me a question, because I'm not able to see whether you're talking to each other or me. So I'm having a little bit of trouble there. Any question at all tonight? You're talking amongst yourselves. That's awesome. Thank you guys for joining in. Again, I only do this about once a month. I am doing the Monday night chat thing with John and Dan every single Monday night. You want to join me there. But again, as many of you know, I'm like in a transition with my brand, and I've written a book, and the book's getting ready to come out, and I've been working on websites right and left so bad that it's not even funny, trying to develop the brand better for this as the book comes out. Aaron, we do have a couple moderators already, so appreciate that. But as the book comes out, I'm trying to develop some stuff. Believe it or not, a t-shirt line that goes along with it. There's just a lot of stuff, and I think as that goes on, my videos are also going to cover more than just the DJ world. They're going to cover about encouragement, creativity, self-help, all these other things that I always talk about in amongst these videos, but those are going to be more oriented towards that. So I'm not sure where all this is going to kind of go to in the future. So that's why I'm not sure what I'm going to do, so I'm going to have to split off some time for some other things. Because I'm like, again, I'm not sure where this is all going to go. I'm hoping that it takes off and gives me opportunity, another, a form of income to go out and speak places and different opportunities to help people and different things like that. So that's what that's all about. That's kind of where I'm at with all of this. So, it's as things change, I'll try to keep you guys up to date, but I'm right now currently enjoying my summertime a lot. I'm getting ready to work on the audio book, because I realized in the midst of writing the book, I'm not a person who likes to read books, but I do audiobooks all the time, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm not even gonna hit my own demographic, so I have to put out the audiobook, and that's what I'm working on now. That and the website. If you go to my regular website, you can see some of the changes that I'm doing. Let me know what you think. It's iammj.com. Like I said, I'm making some changes with the way the landing page looks, and as that page, you go there, it's going to build down from that, so it's going to be a continual scroll. So give me your opinion on that. So we're going back up looking here. Need help with beat matching. He's virtual DJ with the Newmark Mixtrack Platinum. Beat matching is either done two ways, via the ear or with the sync button. So if you're using virtual, all you have to do is hit the sync button and they will match. But if you're doing it by ear, then it becomes a little bit different in the way that you do that. I teach people, when you're listening to two of them together, pick a specific sound within one of those songs to then adjust it forward or backward, and you have to practice it. You can't go out to a gig and go, I'm going to do this. You have got to spend hours and hours training your ears to hear which one's ahead, which one's behind, so you know which way to nudge it. And that's kind of all there is to it. It's not difficult. It just takes practice. And because it's something that involves your ears, because we're used to hand-eye coordination with things, but ear-hand coordination is different. If you have that rhythm and you know that kind of stuff, it can help. But that's basically, what I can tell you about beat matching. Mixtrack Platinum's good little mixer. I have which one do I have? The Platinum Effects something or other. I don't remember which one I have. That's my backup, because the layout on it is identical to the layout of the Rain 1 that I use all the time, and I wanted a little tiny one there. Reading down the questions. During gigs, sometimes virtual freezes and lags. My first thing with that would be to, ask you what kind of computer you use, because I literally will do live DJ mixes from my DJ laptop. So I have my virtual running hooked up to the controller. I have 2 video cameras hooked up to that same laptop. I have a USB mixer hooked up to that laptop. I have a tablet off to the right that I'm switching scenes with, and all these things from one laptop and playing videos. So I'm broadcasting. I have broadcast software open too, and I'm doing all of that from one laptop without any lagging. So if you're lagging, I'm guessing it has something to do with your computer, has something to do with the memory is being taken up by some other program that's running underneath, because that's something that a lot of people don't realize until they look into, like, especially with like Windows, if you do the what is it called, Task Manager. Whoa. And in there's a startup tab that you can look at and see what is started up, and a lot of people don't realize how many things are actually running in the background, and that's probably what there's going to be to that. So moving on down here, Aaron the DJ says, do you prefer virtual DJ over Serato? Aaron, I can't emphasize enough how much I prefer virtual DJ over Serato. And sorry, I just shook the camera there. I didn't realize I'm up against the screens tonight, so every time I do that, it moves you guys. Let me move that off the screen just a bit there. There we go. So now I can pound that and you guys don't shake as much. Virtual just does so much more, and people want to argue with me about Serato this, Serato that. Every single time I sit down and someone's willing to listen to me talk about virtual and show them things, all they go is, wow, I had no idea. I didn't know. I had a guy a couple weeks ago that I was over checking out one of his pieces of equipment, and we hooked virtual up to it too, along with his. And I'm like, here, check this out here. And he's looking through it. He's like, holy crap, I hate your software. Why doesn't Serato do that? It's just the way it is. So I like virtual so much better. It's not even funny. MJ, will you be going to the ACDJ Expo? I already mentioned that. I am not at this time. In fact, Dan even double-checked with me last night. Dan from our Monday night show. At this time, I'm not planning to go to the Expo for the International DJ Expo. I just kind of, like I said, that world with me right now is kind of on back burner with all the other stuff. I'm trying to do some stuff that's very mentally healthy for me, and I'm having a good summer working on this stuff along with the book and all these other things. So, as many times as you guys heard me talk, the Expo is really stressful for me, so I'm skipping out on it unless somebody says, hey, will you come and DJ this party, and it's something that I really want to do. But other than that, there's really no reason for me to go there. I'm still going to cover it, definitely going to do some live videos and different things about that, but I'm not going to go. Help on lagging and performance with my Windows laptop I'm using, or best settings. Again, it's not necessarily settings. There's little things that you can tweak within there, that whether you're running it on, what is that called? It is called, share here. Math Engine and Math Priority, and these are things that let you determine what is running the power of the program, whether you run it through CPU, or you want to run it through GPU, or automatic, or disabled. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct on my DJ computer, because this is my studio computer, and I think it's set the same, I'm not sure, but I use CPU's power on that, but you can use automatic, that will help that. Priority math on that, it has to do with stems and different things, and again, it all depends on what you're running. If you have stems set up to scan every time, you have to understand that if you're doing pre-scans of a file when you load it, in virtual, it's scanning the waveform, and it's scanning 3 stems. So when you load that, your computer is scanning 4 things every time you load a program. It's not like loading before. You can turn that all off within there to turn off the stems, but you won't be able to use the stems. So a lot of times when people say they're having lagging problems, it's either something running in the background or their computer's just kind of old. So not old, and again, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but we had a discussion about this on the Monday night show a while back about what do you need computer-wise. And I asked John, I said, you have to look at Mac. And I said, John, I want to ask you about Mac. I said, will the absolute cheapest new Mac, the cheapest one you can go out and buy, will it run software and DJ just fine? He's like, absolutely. I said, well, then you need to spend the equal amount of the cheapest Mac, that amount on a Windows to be a good computer, and that's going to run you around $1,000 or $1,200. So if you have a $500 computer, if you have a 10-year-old computer, I'm probably not even going to try to help you with that. That's something that if you want to have a friend sit there and help you dig through things to help it work better, you can. There is a plug-in. It's an optimizer, I think. Let me go here. It's for other... it's not custom mapping. What's it called? There's a plug-in for optimizing... I don't remember what it's called, but there's a plug-in there that helps you optimize your PC, CPU. I can't remember what it's called, but there's one in there that can do that. And that's one thing. But like I said, you get a little bit further into that with other things, and it's going to be really hard to troubleshoot just by saying you're having lagging problems. Because like I said, I run the virtual DJ software, broadcast software, video software, 2 cameras, audio, mics, everything from one laptop, and I don't have any problems whatsoever. Streaming and internet both, and watching the chat. And again, and my computer's like 6 years old, but I paid $1,200 for it, or $13, whatever it was, from Lenovo. It's a gaming computer, but I have another one I paid a lot less than that, that works just fine. All right, moving on down. I hope that helped. I know it was kind of just, kind of over every place there. Question, I used to use Virtual DJ Remote quite frequently, but now I'm having an issue when it comes to channel faders. The remote doesn't change the volume anymore. Again, that could be an issue because some of the remote was designed for Virtual 7, and we're now on to, and when they built Virtual 8, which even though right now we're running 2021 Summer Edition, it was still built off of what 8 was built off of. There's some issues with communication, partially because it requires a Wi-Fi signal to do the remote, but partially because there is a communication issue between newer phones and the remote app within there. It's difficult. I've had it completely lock up on me before just playing around with it here in the studio where I have great Wi-Fi and everything. So I'm not sure there's much I can help you with that because I've not had a whole lot of success with it. Now, we've talked before about that. I know that Serato is working on a mobile version of their program, and I have to believe that since Algorithm DJ has their program that works just as good on tablets and phones, including DVS on tablets and phones as it does on a computer, I have to believe that Virtual's working on the same sort of thing. So I think in the future, all of them, including Serato, are going to come out with a mobile version that is going to be able to plug and play with any controller and work seamlessly with a phone or tablet to make the two of them work together. When's that coming? No idea. But I kind of think that that's something that's coming down the road. But I don't have a lot of help for you when it comes to that remote because I've not had a bunch of luck. Like I said, I played around with it one night that didn't give me any problems, and every other time some sort of thing just completely locked where I had to shut down Virtual and restart it. And again, I've never used it out at a gig. It's all things that I play around with for fun. I test all these things, but I've not had a lot of luck there. Mattis could be because the DDJ 1000 controls some things as hardware versus software. Matt, are you asking that about what? And it is true that most Pioneer stuff does have stuff split between hardware and software, and they have quite a few things within that are designated hardware only. So there's a lot of buttons on Pioneer equipment that you cannot remap or repurpose for something else. And that is one of the main reasons why I steer away from them, because I had the DDJ 1000 SRT, and the effects section in there is designed for hardware or Serato. I could not remap it for anything. And I also could not set my effects post fader as opposed to their effects. I could do an echo out with their effects post fader, but I couldn't use Virtual DJ's effects post fader. So it locks some of that stuff up, and it kind of drives me crazy. And again, why I don't use them. Robin says you may need to go to a forum, especially for your computer, possibly ton of stuff running in the background. That's the first thing I always tell everybody is check what's running in the background, because you would not believe how much stuff runs in the background. Or virtual DJ 8 gigs RAM on an i7, no problem. Yeah, I have an like I said, I run it here on the computer, and this is a 2nd gen i3 that I'm running in my studio computer doing all this. So it's partially how you have it set up. I would also question that, are you using a solid state drive or a regular drive? That can make such a big difference. I can't even begin to tell you what a big difference that is. That if you have a computer that has a regular hard disk drive and you're able to switch to a solid state drive, I can't begin to tell you how much that will help you. So keep that in mind there. MJ is the virtual DJ man. We need to get them to sponsor his show. Yes, if you know anybody there, contact them. I would even settle for stuff to give away to you guys, on-show giveaways. Not even necessarily have to do with me, Matt, do you want me to say that question? Matt asks, is Taskmaster the new program replacing Megaseg? So, and I do have my little cup with me tonight, so I have to drink out of the Megaseg cup. Those of you who don't know here on Virtual DJ, that program is, I don't consider it a DJ program, even though it is. And we have a thing that every time we say that name of that program, you have to take a drink. So there, I said it. Moving on down here. My 2010 Mac is running Virtual DJ 2021 with 3 gigs of RAM, 250 gig hard drive. Yep, Mac, that should run it. That shouldn't be a problem whatsoever for what you're saying there on yours. What mic do you use for streaming? Good question, because this is something I'm going to be covering that I'm working on. I use, and I'm going to have to look up, it's a Movo, but I always forget the number. There's something and a 10 in it here. So give me a couple seconds here. Because I just recently purchased, and it actually should be arriving tomorrow, a different version of that. So hold on here. I think it's the VXR10. Yeah, I'll share this with you here in a second. All right, so we're going on the screen. So this is what I run right here, and it's set up above me as a boom mic because I talk with my hands, so I'm always knocking stuff over. That's why I can't use the mic that like John and those guys do that's set in front of them, because I hit stuff. So I'm running it overhead on an arm, because I have an arm for the mic and an arm for the camera that runs off of the shelf over here. And I basically just set it here and I can talk, and it's right here. So if I pull it down, you'll see the fuzzies. It's got the what do they call it, the dead rabbit on there. So that's there. But I actually just ordered their new one for vlogging. Let me get that out of there. Is there one that has two? Is the double mic, and recently also purchased. This is a good way to look at it there. It has a mic on the front, mic on the back, and lets you switch to front, back, or both. So that if you're vlogging with a camera, the idea is I recently picked up a GoPro Hero 9 Black. It's what I'm going to start using for some of the stuff. But that mic gives me the option of having the boom mic out front and a mic in back. So if I'm behind it shooting something, I can talk and you're going to hear me clearly. Or if I'm out in front, you're going to be able to hear that. So I've had a lot of great luck with the Movo that I have here, and recently purchased one of them for the new thing. Yeah, dead cat, yeah. What do they call the little tiny ones for little pals? Are they still called dead cats, or they're dead mice? Just joking. Moving on down here. Hope that answered about the mic. Yeah, again, I love this, but it's also keep in mind that I'm not going to lie here. I run everything audio-wise through a Behringer mixer. It's the Behringer Xena 302, and it's a small little 3-channel USB mic. And I bumped this mic, so I'm now going to set it to flat on the high-low settings and let you hear what it sounds like. Okay, so this is absolutely flat. So mids, highs, and lows are flat in the middle. So all I do is I bump up all the way the low and the high, all the way to the top. And then I get this kind of lower feel there. And like I said, it just works for me and works for my voice, and that's something that I've kind of learned over the years how to tune a mic with my voice really easily. So, but hey, our bot's back. Robin, stomp on that bot, please. But yeah, that's the mic that I'm using right now, the two of them. Like I said, I like it. I know, I think, in my opinion, Dan's mic and John's mic sounds better. But like I said, with me talking with my hands, I was on a video meeting the other day, and my phone sits on the shelf where the my monitors are, and in the middle talking to them and that, I hit my phone and it comes flying back at me. So having the boom mic here helps me be able to talk with my hands as if I'm a hummingbird on crack. George asks, which was the last MacBook Pro that can be updated as far as memory and hard drive? Someone in the chat's going to have to answer that because I'm not a big MacBook person. I know that 12s did, but after that, I don't know. So if somebody else out there knows what to use for that, let me know. Like, what's the last one you can do? Because I think you can still update, but I know that they've changed on how you update them. So, yeah. Mike says he likes my little mixer. It served its purpose here in the studio. It lets me do multiple ties in. I can do, if I have the controller set up, I can do a controller, a separate volume from the mic. I can have stuff that I run in the background, like my intros and outros, in their own volumes, and it's a tiny little thing. And with that thing, because it runs off of other power, I have literally hooked it up to the USB-C out on my phone and hooked a mic up to it, a regular mic, and be able to mic through there, and that's powered off of a phone and nothing else. So if I want to go out and do something, I can run the mic through that into the GoPro or the phone or whatever, something like that, and can work that. So I don't know, it's just kind of neat here. I was asked, do you think it's better to use a virtual DJ audio sound card? I don't use anything special whatsoever. Like, both of my computers, my main and my backup, do not have special sound cards whatsoever. I run off, because they're both Windows, and I run off the Windows sound card that it comes with. Nothing special. I've even, for me, and not everybody agrees with this, but my main DJ computer actually came with a really nice NVIDIA video card, and I've since not liked running it, because you can pick which the program uses, the stock GPU or the NVIDIA GPU, for your screen, and you can also do it for video output, or put one on one on the other. And I run both off of the stock Windows GPU, and I think it runs better that way. Again, virtual is one of the lightest programs on the power that it takes from a computer. In fact, I showed on one of our DJNTV chill rooms, and if you guys don't know what that is, when COVID happened, John opened up a Zoom chat every single night, so DJs can go there, hang out, ask each other questions, talk about things. Later on, I'll have Robin put it in the chat if she wants to put it in now and later. That'd be awesome. But you can go there pretty much every single night, and there's going to be people in there. Most of the time, they don't show up till really late. Like for me, Eastern time, they're not there till like 11 o'clock or midnight Eastern time. But you can go there. But that is, again, that is something that has developed. How did I get to the late night thing? I didn't even remember. I completely lost track. I don't do that very often. I'm having a day and a half right now. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Someone please tell me where I was at there. We're talking MacBooks. We're talking GPUs. We're talking something there. I'm such a loser. Anyways, all right, so back to the chat. Has anyone heard of any Pioneer controllers back out on the market? The SRTs are not much. They're not out there very much. They come in bits and pieces. They're all the equipment right now, because I have a case for the Rain that I had ordered in March 9th, and I'm still waiting on it. And did a check the other day, because I teach DJ classes for Guitar Center, so I got it through Guitar Center so I can see where stuff's at, and there are none of those cases anywhere at all, ever. So right now there's a shortage on everything, and I don't expect it to let up anytime soon. I really don't right now. I have friends who play guitar, and they said they've been waiting on guitar pedals forever. I've heard people who have wrecked their car and can't get parts for their car. Right now, it's just a time to take care of your stuff. You can always get something to replace it, but right now it's going to be tough to get the exact thing you want. That's why I debated on selling my Denon 7000, because right now, if you look at the price of used equipment out there is really high. So if my rain goes down, I'm going to have to shuffle to find a full-size backup pretty quickly, and right now I don't think I can. So that's why I'm kind of holding on to that for right now. If someone can remember how I got into the chill room thing, yeah, I don't go into the chill room very often. It's too much talking for me in a day. Usually after this, I usually end up hitting the a treadmill for a while. I got to get my head back down to earth after these shows. It wears on me. Besides DJing out on the weekends and all the different stuff I do and the Monday night shows, I'm out in a lot. Mike says they should bring me up to the Scranton Guitar Center. I actually do right now, because until they can get me a bunch of classes that happen on the same day, I do a lot of my classes via a Zoom, which I can do some of the basic stuff. So I don't hardly ever even go into the local guitar center, which believe it or not, we have 2 guitar centers in the city, which is kind of cool. But I don't do a lot. Again, I'm kind of backing off of a lot of that because I'm trying to focus on this next step with the book and all the other stuff that I want to try to do with that. And I want to take it beyond the DJ world. I think I've taken the DJ world as far as I possibly can because, like I said, I've been up with the big ones. I've done all the shows, and none of it really, it doesn't thrill me to chase after that. I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to DJ, still going to do stuff for Disc Jockey News. I just finished an article that is coming out in the next Disc Jockey News print magazine. If you don't know about that, you can go to discjockeynews.com, and there's a little subscribe button there, and you can subscribe to get the print magazine with articles from all kinds of people. Like I said, I still write for that every time it comes out, so that's still out there. I know why I was brought into the chill room talking about, because in the chill room one night, you were talking about how much power Virtual DJ uses. And I have a Surface Go, which is basically a Windows tablet. And in fact, it is the lowest power Windows tablet that is ever made. And I can have it hooked up to a small USB powered controller. I can have it hooked up even to that Newmark FX USB powered controller. I can hook it up to a powered controller. But I can run virtual mixing and everything running on that little Surface Go. So virtual does not take a lot of power. That's where I was going with all that. I'm so happy my brain found its way back. Whew, very good. My closest GC is about 30 minutes away. Well, technically both GCs here in the city, guitar centers, are at least 30 minutes from me. So it's just that they're on opposite sides of the city, and I'm kind of in the middle. So moving on here, you were talking about virtual DJ is so light. Thank you, appreciate that, man. Palichis Palacios. Hope I'm saying that. I am horrible with names. Steve Slick says electronics are about 1.5 to 2 years out, depending upon manufacturers. I'm in low voltage alarm and access systems. Yeah, right now, it's weird, the stuff you can find, and other stuff is just ghost. I was even at the GNC the other day, and they were telling me that they're having trouble getting certain flavors of like protein powders and different things in. They just can't get them in. So, like I said, right now's the time to take care of your equipment. I'm not saying you can't find stuff, but finding what you want will probably be the difficult thing. So, yeah. George Mano said, hey, what happened in the Instagram post about bringing back DJNTV magazine? I saw it once this year. They've actually had it out 3 times this year, or this is the 3rd one coming out. So again, all you have to do is go to discjockeynews.com, and there's a button on there about subscribing to the magazine. It gets sent to you, or you also have access to the digital version, and the same articles are in both. You're not losing anything like that. The new one I just wrote is a short article. I mean, after writing a book, everything's short to me, but it's a short article about both transition mixes in DJing, the actual files used to do transition mixes, and you in life creating transition mixes for your life to help you get motivated. So yes, I tie both of those into that in one article. So yeah. So it says, MJ or anyone else, do you know of any controllers like the MC6000 that can rack mount in a flight case? Right now, all I know that is, if I'm correct, there is no new controllers that are rack mountable. And when I say rack, those of you who know what rack mountable is that you've ever seen the upright things that some DJs have. It's not a full-out controller, but it's where they put their amplifiers and voice compressors and stuff in there. And a lot of old mixers had, like a ledge on them that would sit down there and mount. And the 6000 by Denon, you could unscrew the two outside pieces, and you would put those ears on there, and you could rack mount the 6000. And I don't know anybody that makes that kind of stuff anymore, because I just don't know anybody that really uses it. I saw a local DJ show a picture of him on something, and I was like, I can't believe that they're actually showing a picture of themselves using that. I was blown away, but, some DJs, Mike says about Wheelie Wednesday. Yes, I'll be I didn't post a Wheelie Wednesday picture today. I will do that, because I only post those, in all my social medias, I only post Wheelie Wednesday pictures on story mode. So you have to go look at the story mode on one of my social medias. And I can't believe that I forgot about posting one today. So after I get off of here, I have to post about my weekend gigs, and I have to post the Wheelie Wednesday. So I'll get that. Thank you for throwing that out there. Sorry. What is your book about? My book is basically, I've got to find a shorter way to explain it, but it's about my creative journey, because I've done a lot of this stuff in my life. I literally have done some sort of art form my entire life. My parents owned their own arts and crafts store, so I grew up doing every type of art there is, photography. I used to teach and take dance. I've done dance videos for TV commercials, competitions, won a bunch of competitions. I've put out 12 albums in my lifetime. DJing has always been there off and on. It's the one thing I always come back to, because people just keep wanting to pay me to DJ. The other stuff you get too old for, or something like that, and I don't get paid for it. But I've done so many things, writing along the way for Disc Jockey News, all kinds of stuff, artwork galore, digital and non-digital. And the book is about me. When lockdown happened, I kept getting up each morning and working the same. And I was like, this is odd, because I always thought I was chasing fame and fortune. But I'm getting up, lockdown. None of us had jobs. None of us had an audience. But I kept getting up each day as if I did. And it took me that to realize that my main reason that I've done all these things all these years is not for fame and fortune. It's to be creative. I love to be creative. Our bot is back, so I would like to create a bot slapper. But not butt slapper, a bot slapper. So someone's going to quote that later. But it just took me that to realize that it's my creativity is why I'm doing this. And looking at creativity now and everything that I do from a creative point of view, not a achievement point of view, took me from chasing to doing. Instead of chasing after something, I'm just doing it. And I'm looking at all the different creative outlets that I have and the different things that I get to do. There's sometimes at one of the casinos here that I DJ at, they'll be like, hey, we need someone to do lights. Can you come help? And because I've done this stuff over the years, I go get to sit down and do lights and make a little paycheck. But I look at that as a creative thing that I get to do, is the lights. And there's just so much when I make flyers and post them, that creative on that digital thing for the flyers and the YouTube splash screens and all these things, little videos that I do, they may not make sense to a lot of people because they're kind of everywhere. They're not just about DJ or just about this or just about that. It's about me getting to be creative and doing just even like, filters on pictures and having fun with stuff like that. I'm so blessed right now to get to do the stuff I do that I am just absolutely, okay, that right there in the chat that says, you're lucky today, that is not us. That is absolute spam. That is not a person. Ignore them. They have nothing to do with us. But yeah, so I get a chance to, oh, that's on Twitch. So you guys aren't even seeing that. That came up, somebody on Twitch hit us with a bot. So yeah. I don't even know what that is. But anyways, yeah, so I get to do all this stuff, and that's what the book's about basically, is my number one, my journey. But the most important thing is it's about encouraging you to find if you have that creative bug in you, you can't ignore it. So you have to find a way to embrace it somehow. That's what it's about, is helping people to have hope that they can change their life instead of being just stuck in a job that they hate, a life that they hate, a routine that they hate, to find little things that help them not hate life. Life gets you down really bad and really quick. And I've spent my life fighting from underneath a lot of crap and people who are full of crap. And I'm just taking some of these lessons that I've learned and coping mechanisms and different things like that, and I'm just trying to get it out. Somebody asked, where can you find the book? It's not been released yet because I'm still working on the audiobook. It's finished. The book's finished. But I'm working on the audiobook because I want it all to come out at the same time. So, rambling. I'm rambling. I'm doing all hip-hop clubs, bars. I'm more complex than that, and I'm ready to network with the house scene in our city. That is the number one way. He's talking about he wants to get out of the hip hop and bar scene and wants to do more house music. I spun nothing but EDM up until 2005, and then in this city I could not make a full-time living doing just EDM. So I feel your pain, but you just said it there. The number one way to get more DJ jobs in the bar, and I don't know why this thing's shaking so much tonight, in that world, is to go network with people. Get out and go network. Even when I'm doing lights, I told you about I do the lights at the casino, I'm getting to network with other people in the industry. So I take that not just as a way to make money, not just as a way to be creative, but I'm also networking before and after, during, everything. So get out and just go to some places. Number one, if you want to DJ somewhere, go to that place often. Get to know everybody there that you can. Show them that you're a good, reliable, honest person, and there's a good chance that someone will go, hey, we need someone to open such and such. Can you do that? And that could be your first in. It may not even pay. You just do DJ the first hour, and that could get you started. But networking is the number one way to do all that. As much as I'm not a people person, I work very hard at that, and that's the best way to get in there. Just said there's an issue I have seen people talk about. It is very interesting. After playing for a while, the music starts to crackle. Again, that comes down to the computer. It's that to me. When it starts crackling, then you're running out of memory. Not you're running out of RAM. And I don't care if you have 28 gigs of RAM. If that RAM is being used up by something else, you're running out of RAM. It's not how much you have. It's about how much is being used. Because I think my DJ computer has 8. It doesn't have much at all. So again, that's when it does that. What it is, it's running out of RAM because you have so many processes running here. I'm almost at the top of the hour, and you guys are still hammering me with questions, so I'm going to try to do the best I can here. So I'm using an MC7000 with Windows computer, 16 gigs of RAM, i5 processor, and a 4 terabyte solid drive. Any ideas? After a reboot, it is all better. I've used the 7000 with an 8 gigabyte RAM, i5 processor, and a 1 terabyte solid state drive, and I've not had any problems. So I'm going to tell you, start with USB cords. Start with reinstalling all of your drivers for audio. There's a virtual DJ driver. There is a Denon driver. That's the first one you want to do. And second, if you're using Windows in that, I'm guessing you are by what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, Windows computer. I have found using the, I call them Wasabi drivers, but it's basically Windows Audio, blah, blah, blah. That driver, as opposed to ASIO drivers, the Wasabis work better. So if you can switch to those, find them, load them, I think they work better than the ASIO drivers, audio drivers. So start with stuff like that. Moving on down here. What version of Virtual DJ, Jeff? That'd be a good question, too, to check on people when you say stuff, y'all. So which are you using the latest version of Virtual DJ? Because I have people ask me about that stuff, and they're using Virtual DJ 7. And I have not used Virtual DJ 7 in almost 10 years. So keep that in mind. Jason says, I love Virtual DJ. It is easy, simple software to use, and I feel other people judge it because you're not using Serato or Tractor Pro, Record Box. I tell everyone. Again, I let people talk all they want, as long as they give me a couple of minutes, and literally, I need less than 5. 2 minutes to show them something, and they're going to be like, wow, I didn't know. They're not going to switch because people don't change. They're just not going to change. But they're going to look and go, holy crap, why isn't Serato doing some of this stuff? Why is it so difficult? I'm going to leave that there for you. What's my name on Twitch? I believe it's DJ Michael Joseph on Twitch, but again, as I start developing the other side and talking, I may switch that over to the IMMJ, because like on Instagram, I've developed a new Instagram for everything as it's coming there, and it's IMMJIG for Instagram, and Facebook is IMMJFB, and Twitter's IMMJTW. So that is something that I'm going to work on in the future for Twitch. I don't know if I'm going to be going on Twitch, but that side with the book, I don't know if I'm going to keep them combined or separate. That's what I had a meeting with a marketing person about a month ago, and I'm trying to decide what's best for me, to keep the DJ world separate on its own or bring them all together. So I just said, I live in the same city as you. I think I want to get into house music. Any club suggestions for a novice DJ? There's some little places up around, if you're talking here in Pittsburgh, up around Shadyside that have stuff. A lot of the promoters do specialty nights, different places. I know that Goldmark does some stuff with special DJs, and basically it's just trying to find that you're not going to see a lot of that stuff advertised out. You're just going to have to get into that scene. Some people, there's Facebook pages, find the DJs that do that stuff, follow them. They're going to post about events, and that's the best that you can kind of come up with, and just go there and hang out. Yeah, Mike says, life's too short. Try to pass a smile on each day you can. You just got to do what you can. You don't have to save the world. You only have to affect the world that you're living in. When are you going to do another music sharing show like you did last year? I don't know. Again, it'll be in the fall if I do. Just so that's Matt asked that about that. I can hear MJ. Did you ever do stipping with pen and ink? Yes, I've done every kind of art you can imagine. The dot, all of that stuff, both that and the scratch art that's the opposite of the stipping, all of that. Again, Robin, since we're at the top of the hour, throw in one more time the chat room if somebody wants to go in there and ask. If you want to go in there and talk in the chat room, in the chill out room, if you want me to come in there some night, figure out a night you want me to come in, and I'll come in there one night, and in there I can share music, I can do everything. So if you want a special night of that, even if it's like 10 to 11 before everybody else shows up, let me know. If you can get a bunch of people in there, I'll come in and do a thing for you guys in there. So a little info on if you are using portable external SD drives plugged in directly in your PC Mac. I don't use external drives at all. All mine, like my DJ computer, is a dual internal drive, so it has 2 SSDs internally. Because it's just, when it's outside, it's just another thing that breaks. Michael asked me, do I ever get into promoting? Used to put on my own events from the 90s up till probably the late 2000s, and just got kind of tired of dealing with artists. So I just kind of like doing my own thing. That's kind of why I steer away from a lot of the stuff at the DJ Expos and all these different things, because I just kind of like being me and doing my own thing. I don't like to fuss with a lot of stuff. Again, as you know, I'm not the most people person in the world. So, yeah, Robin, if you can throw that in there one more time for the chat room. And we're just about out. You guys are so freaking awesome tuning in tonight. Oh, my goodness, you guys are awesome. I don't know. Like I said, my next one, I'm definitely going to go live probably multiple times the week of the DJ Expo. And that is, for those of you who don't know, I have to go and look because I can't remember exactly which week it is. It's August 8th through the 11th. So I'm probably going to do like our Monday night show for Disc Jockey News. What 2 SSDs? It's just, I believe there is the Samsung Evo something or other, and then I have an M.2 in there. Both of them are single terabyte SSDs. I don't know what Robin's laughing about. But yeah, I'm probably going to do a couple live shows that week, probably with Dan, John, and myself, and then one by myself, maybe talking about if anybody comes out with any new equipment. At this time, I've not heard of anything new, but yeah, that's where we're at. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys were so awesome hanging out with me this whole time. It just amazes me, how we all could get to connect all over the whole world. as this world continues to get crazy, I just want to encourage you guys to be there for each other. There's a lot of backstabbing and whining within the DJ world, and we just got to stop that and be there for each other. If you don't like the software I use, that's fine. I don't like the software you use, but that doesn't mean I don't like you. So we've just got to get along that way, and that's what I want to encourage people. And again, as my book comes out and these other things I'm doing, that's what I think I want to do more of, encouraging people, because the world's harsh, and like I said, I've been through a lot of really bad stuff, and I just want to encourage people. There's another side to the wall that you're up against. So that's about it. And with that, till next time, take care of yourselves, and God bless.